I decided I really wanted a betta fish, and PetSmart and Petco were the only places in my area that supplied betta fish. I wasn't even going to bother to look at Walmart or some of those other big box stores because when I've seen the betta fish in there before, they look super, super sad and not healthy. I couldn't guarantee when I brought it home that it could actually survive. At Petco, I noticed that their containers were, it seemed like smaller, but there was a larger variety of fish, but also the prices were all over the place. They actually seemed what could potentially be a little bit more expensive, but your choice of fish was really, really exotic. Then looking back at PetSmart, their containers seemed a little bit bigger. They had a little bit less variety. The fish seemed very similar. They only had 4 options. But the big thing I noticed is that their containers were a lot cleaner, at least at the one I went to. At both PetSmart and Petco, their prices range anywhere from about $2.99 to $7.99 or $10 for more of their more basic fish, I guess you could say. They're less exotic. But then once you jump into the koi fish, I should say koi betta fish, then it becomes a little bit more expensive into the higher dollar, like above $10 and even into $20, which I thought $20 was a little expensive for a fish. Maybe if you're buying, well, I guess it is a premium fish, but because they're $20, I noticed that their containers, they just were in worse condition because they were staying at the store longer, and maybe that's a business mistake on their part. But this one in particular really caught my eye. I thought he was handsome, and then there was this one. I kind of avoided purchasing or looking for any fish that had cut fins or looked like they were struggling a little bit to swim. It's possible at PetSmart they could have baby betta fish, but I think Petco is the only one that supplies babies. And back many, many years ago, I purchased baby male betta fish, and they turned out beautiful, but I don't think they do that anymore. At both places, you can purchase female betta fish. In this case, I actually think that Petco has better varieties for female betta fish. If you're looking to breed, and maybe that's something I would want to do later on. As I mentioned before, the little red, white, and blue guy really caught my eye. I made sure to get the water to temperature, and unfortunately, when he first started swimming, he was really limp. He was almost like swimming in a U shape, which had me super worried. Did I pick a betta that was struggling in his, little container for too long? But after a few hours, he actually just perked up. His fins were spread out and very showy, and speeding and swimming around the tank over and over. I also wanted to give it some natural oxygen and some shelter, so I'm actually propagating a plant. And this worked out perfect because he gets the shelter and the plant propagates as it stays inside the tank with him. I was really trying not to poke him with the roots or anything, but I think after a little bit he was very comfortable with the plant. After a few hours, I found him sleeping on some of the leaves of the plant. He loved to weave in and out of the plant throughout the day, so he was very comfortable and very happy. I was watching it every day to make sure it was doing well. Every morning and every evening, I would feed it its betta food pellets. It really enjoyed them, jumping up, as you see here. Boop! It caught that one. I'm really considering also getting him a bigger tank. He seems very active and loves to swim around. Has a little motor on him. He really zooms back and forth. Right now I'm just showing you slow motion so you can see his really pretty fins. And he does get a bit sassy. You can see he loves to flare off his fins and his gills. Then I think I've made a really big mistake with him. I got some freeze-dried bloodworms. I was researching a little thinking that's good for him. And so I gave him one and accidentally, my mistake, I probably should have broken it up. And when he tried to take a bite of it, he took a bite of the whole worm, which he's too small to handle that big of a worm. So it seemed like he was choking on it. He was swimming back and forth in his tank, trying to shake his head, trying to, get rid of it. And I was really getting worried to the point that I thought, do I have to go in with my little fish net, take him out and actually pull the bloodworm out myself? Hopefully it took him about like 5 minutes, but he finally was able to spit the bloodworm back out. I immediately got my little suction cup to remove the excess bloodworm that he spat out, and luckily he was fine.